Hey hello, I forgot to record the game audio, so instead you're getting amazing commentary from yours truly. First, we are starting off with my Raiden team, which includes Zinkyu as a sub DPS and enabler, Kazuha as a resistance shredder / crowd control WND, finally Jean, who provides healing and is holding the 4 noblesse set. The first half of the first floor is a bunch of baby Rifthounds that I completely destroyed, followed by 2 big ones. The bigger ones are really annoying because they like to move around a lot with no easy pattern to follow. Electro Rifthounds take more electro damage than any other kind of damage, which is why I opted to use Raiden on this half instead of another DPS. If you don't have Raiden, Electro Keking, YAE Miko, or an Electro Charged Kokomi / chilled with Beidou and Fisk will also work well on this half. Make sure you bring a healer since Rifthounds inflict corrosion, which drains your HP. It is also important to not be dumb like me and miss not only a burst hit but also a skill hit on the enemy. I did this twice in a row. It was quite embarrassing, but I was panicking because I needed to finish this half in as little time as possible. This fucking thing wouldn't die even though it only had a sliver of HP left, so I did another dumb thing and used Zinkyu's burst when I really didn't need to. Oh well. The next half is my beloved Ningguang team. Along with her we have Zhongli, who provides not only shielding but also Gia resonance, Bennett, who provides healing and an attack buff, and Xiangling, who deals extra damage and gives pyro resonance. These things are quite tanky, which means you need a hard hitter DPS on your team. You also need someone who can do good damage without bursts, because these enemies can suck your burst away from you, meaning you might not have optimal burst rotations. That means characters like Ganyu work really well. I haven't said the name of the enemy on this floor yet because, to be honest, I don't remember their names. Think Giavishaps but more annoying. Bismal something? I don't know, but either way there's 2 small ones followed by 2 big ones, and this evil game spawns them on opposite sides of the arena, meaning you have to dash all the way over to the other side if you weren't there already. This is my least favorite floor of the 3, which might seem surprising to those who know what's on next floors of this abyss. It's surprising to me too. This seems like it should be the easiest floor, but I think it's cause it has the hardest first half. Whereas in the other 2 the first half is super easy, which gives me a lot of time for the second half. In fact, this is the only floor I actually had to do a second time, whereas the other 2 I could do first try. That's why you might notice my Zinkyu burst is actually back during the second half. I meant chamber instead of half. Second chamber. Whatever, you get what I meant. Long story short, I hate this floor and I nearly didn't get 3 stars on it even the second time trying. Would not recommend. Now as we awaken on the second floor of this abyss with Evangelion music playing in the background that'll get me copy striked in like 2 seconds, I shall introduce the enemies on this half. All that we have are 2 big boy ruin graders that are pretty easy to fight. A bow user would be nice on this floor, but it's not necessary. Other than that, someone who does good AoE damage is good, so you can defeat the 2 enemies at the same time. Crowd control doesn't work on these guys, but Kazuha or Sucrose are always useful in any elemental team minus Gia, so that doesn't really matter. Finishing this half in as little time as possible is especially wanted here because of what's on the next half. Ready for what's on the next half? Well, it's the annoying ass Gia Wolflord thing that takes ages to get out of its little hole thing and then is unable to be hit for another century. I cut out a bit of its stalling cause it took too long. This gameplay is gonna be so scuffed because I basically run around like an idiot trying to maybe hit it but keep missing anyways. If you haven't noticed, I also don't dodge because I have the Zhongli sickness that makes me unable to dodge even when the shields don't work and I get corroded. As a Gia main, this boss isn't even that hard if it would stop fucking moving. Cough, you don't see anything, I totally didn't miss my burst. Anyhow, for this floor and half, you definitely 100% want to have a Gia member that can consistently do Gia damage. Technically that makes Ningguang the best option, but sadly most people don't have her build, so the mono Gia Ito, Gora, Albedo and Zhongli team is really good on this half. Gia meta for the win. The reason Gia is so wanted on this floor is because of the state when the boss gets a shield on it where you have to attack its children spawn thingies in order to get said shield down. The children spawn thingies get destroyed a lot easier when attacked by gear damage specifically, which can save you a lot of time compared to if you didn't bring gear. I've seen people 3-star this floor without gear, but unless you have C6R5 every character on your team, I would not recommend. When the boss is down after the shield state, it is the best time to attack it since it will not move and stops being a pussy bitch. We start off the first half of the last floor with 3 ruin baby things. These ruin baby things are very easy to kill if you have a decently built main DPS, so most people should be able to pass this half quickly. You just want to make sure that none of them teleport away from you, so paralyzing them is your best bet. I'm sure you've noticed already, but I've been doing this all on mobile, so if you're playing on PC you should be able to clear this entire abyss a lot faster than I can. The last enemies to fight from this abyss are the Bishop twins. Like the things in the first floor second half, they can suck your burst energy away from you. Speaking of burst, I totally did not just miss my 4th burst in this single abyss run. Anyways, different from this boss in the overworld, you have to kill these guys at relatively the same time, or the one you killed first will revive a bunch of its HP. That means that this is yet another floor that you're going to ideally want lots of AoE on. Besides that fact, I didn't find this chamber too difficult, and it was the one I cleared in the fastest amount of time actually. Fun fact, this is actually the second abyss rotation I was actually able to 36-star. I wouldn't consider my builds bad, but considering the fact that I'm not a whale and also a mobile player, some of the rotations I find really difficult to 36-star. At the very least, I can always with certainty 33-star the abyss if not more. The other rotation I was able to 36-star was the one from 2.3 with the smattering of Rifthounds, but I found the 2.4 rotation with the Ruin Cube, Primogiavishap and level 100 Magu Kenki simply unfair. I just hope Hoyoverse won't continue upping the HP of bosses in the abyss without upping the rewards as well. Getting less than a single pull for the hell that is sometimes floor 12 is the most degrading thing ever. I hate it so much. Either way, I will keep throwing no matter what, even if the rotation is easier than usual like this one. I killed one of the twins before the other, which isn't a big deal because the other was close to dead, but I mistook the dead one for the living one and bursted on it while the living one laughed at me. Anyways, here are my builds. They kinda suck, but that's okay. I'm going through them really fast, so pause if needed. Ningguang is triple crowned cause she deserves it. I forgot to show it, but my Raiden is C0 with a level 8 skill and level 9 burst. I also forget this for Zinkyu, who is C6 with both a level 8 skill and burst. For characters like Bennett, Kazuha and Jean, ignore their crit ratio because I simply did not care to build them with crit and focused on other stats. Ignore that shitty anemo damage goblet and we won't have any problems. Thank you for watching and please build your Ningguang.